One winter evening, my girlfriend invited me to this five-star restaurant for a candlelight dinner. It had been exactly 1 year since we had been seeing each other, and unbeknownst to me, she was ready to make it official. While having a third glass of white wine, she suddenly asked, "Shashank, what is the most important thing in your life?" A question I was not prepared for or ready to answer just yet. After thinking for a second, as much as the wine would allow me to think, I unwittingly said, "Darling, the most important thing in my world is," and then I told her those three dreadful words: "I love money." I did not want to be a hypocrite, and I wanted to be downright honest in telling her that yes, money is very important. But as you can imagine, that was the last candlelight dinner I ever had at any five-star restaurant. I had blown my first opportunity to get rich quick by marrying a rich girl. That was 14 years ago. The next opportunity I got was when I met a minister in my flight to Delhi 8 years ago. He was sitting next to me in business class, and I got an unexpected upgrade for being the rowdiest passenger around after the flight got delayed awaiting the minister's arrival for 4 hours. In between his naps in the 2-hour flight, he told me that he had been to Kolkata to inaugurate a program to build medical centers every 20 kilometers in the different villages and districts of West Bengal. I got excited and asked him how I could be a part of this program. Looking at my enthusiasm, he invited me to distribute medicines to the medical centers, to which I readily agreed. A year later, I was given the contract to deliver these medicines to the medical centers. In the contract, it was mentioned that I had to supply only half the medicines and dispatch them to a central warehouse instead, whereas I would get full payment for the goods. Looking at the mistake, I called up the minister to inform him about it. He said that he did not have sufficient space in the warehouse and I could keep the balanced medicines and I would get full payment for it. But then I asked him, "But sir, what about the apparent shortfall of the medicines at the medical centers?" To which he laughed on the phone and said, "Shashank, those medical centers were never even built, and nor were your medicines ever gonna get there." This was fantastic. I was gonna get full payment for half the goods sold. I was suddenly in business. And just when I thought so, the minister, the hen that laid the golden eggs, was transferred to the Department of Sanitation and Waste, and with it, my business was also flushed down the drain. The next idea I got was when I was inspired by none other than the man himself, Mr. Dhirubhai Ambani. While watching a movie that was loosely based on his life, I realized that a sure short way of becoming rich was to float an IPO. You collect the money from the public, build your business, build your fleet of cars, and then you build your house. I was excited, and we hired professional consultants to estimate the price of the IPO as well as the number of shares to subscribe. Then, in the year 2007, I was called on the large street to stroke the bell announcing the launch of my company's share on the stock market. And as luck would have it, the stock market tanked that day. And with it, my hopes of becoming rich quick. The next day, the board members seeked my resignation, and that was the end of my short business venture. But I did not lose hope. The next idea I got was when I heard that this book by Chetan Bhagat was about to be made into a movie, and he was going to get millions in royalty. Once again, I got excited, and I went about writing my first novel. I contacted Rupa and Company and told them to publish my book, as I said that it would be a bestseller. The next day, the chief editor of Rupa and Company, he listened to my draft, and he very stoically said, "Shashank, of course your book can sell over 1 million copies." I started doing the mental calculation in my head about the price of the book and the money I would get in royalty. And then he continued, "But for us to print over 1 million copies sold, you need to first pay for 999,999 copies yourself." I would buy one copy for myself, he smirked. I was dejected, and I walked out of his office. And I realized that there was no shortcut to success. I had to work hard. Walking on the street, I saw a man about the age of my uncle staring at me from the billboard and saying, "You can win." Next day, I went for one of his speeches and paid through my nose for an apparently successful show for him. I wanted to be successful too, and just like him, I wanted to give speeches. So today, I give speeches. I've just paid my annual dues for Toastmasters, for which I had to take a loan from the bank. As you can see, I have to pay people to hear me. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. Thank you for being here this evening. Today, with your help and support, I'm confident that someday, with my hard work and perseverance, I will be able to give speeches that people end up paying for someday. I hope. Oh, by the way, here's my book, Rich Husband, Poor Husband. It's free. I was too afraid to put a price tag on it. Thank you.